All right, let's
Now
try
you're
it
live.
again. Now we're live. We're not going to make them suffer through that one more time. All right. All right. We're not going to sit through that countdown clock. We messed up the whole intro. And hey, at least we didn't go the entire show and realize that it wasn't live. So we'll skip through the fancy intro. Let's do a soft intro. Let's set the hook, Jeremy. And then we'll do the official video intro. Let me shut down the airport background. We don't need that anymore. And I think I have a walkie-talkie voice on too. So let me turn that off. All right, let me get rid of all this crap. Stop that. We'll turn off the walkie-talkie.
Podcast microphone.
There you go.
All right. So, Jeremy, we'll set the hook. I promise you, everyone, we will try and do a better. Echoing. We don't need. All right. Let's lose the reverb.
There you go.
All right. We'll cut the reverb out. I hit the wrong podcast microphone. Too many buttons and switches. Jeremy. Yeah. Oh boy. Hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. We're already in vacation mode, I think. But we will do a better job this week now that we have you back. Scale Rat and I were like a bunch of fish out of water floundering around. So
you guys did great. And thank you for happy birthday to the wife. I appreciate that. She did too.
Good. All right. Jeremy, we have a guy that we started talking to right before Beat the Creek. Big presence, Dino. I mean, anybody who's going to be flexing the name Dino, man, I'm lagging over here. So I'm going to fix my lag while we do a intro video here, and then we're going to bring Don in. Jeremy, as I'm keeping up with you, does the lag look bad? Can you tolerate it? It's just fussing back at me.
All right. Tolerate it. Yeah.
You can tolerate a lot. All right.
I can. I did that for 32 years.
All right. Let's do a soft intro. We'll welcome everybody to an official flight number 525. This is the Saturday night live stream, and we have our guest, Dino RC, here with us. Let's kick off.
Ground control, we're loaded and ready to taxi.
Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
There he is.
Good evening.
How we doing?
I definitely cannot complain.
There we go. That's a good day.
That's right.
That is a good day. Dino, we are going to put you front and center since you decided to bring your fan base, bring your fanboys along with you, and we greatly appreciate that.
Well, we have
obviously, you do a big group, a big group. And that's exciting. I know you do try to make a big presence when you're at these events, and you've tried to have been very inclusive and welcome all sorts of people. You got your pro level guys, your newbies. It's exciting to see what you have done as far as making this big group work. It's not an easy formula when you're flexing that kind of crew. Jeremy, he's got like 207 over 200 guys a part of the Dino family, official Dino members.
So
that's insane.
So I see the fans commenting in with their number, and I was like, wow, like that's that's legit. Like, that's pretty organized. They got driver numbers and the whole deal. I like it.
Yeah, that was something that they requested. So that wasn't something originally we were going to do. And somebody was like, "Can I have a driver number?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care." And so we started doing driver's numbers. And, in the beginning, some wanted them, some didn't. Now everybody gets a driver number. It works out nice. And, if they want to use their driver number, they can. If they don't have to. It's just something added, something fun.
I immediately.
Can they pick their own number, or is it?
They do get to pick their own number. Robert Cole takes care of that for me, and I don't know if y'all know Robert or not, but he's my right hand man, and he is probably responsible for as many people being in the group as I am, or more so. But anyhow, he takes care of that for me, and he'll give them a list of where they can pick from. And then sometimes we'll have people that want, for an example, they might want number 66. Well, if somebody's already got 66, then we might give them 066, or we might give them hashtag 66, or, well, not hashtag, but anyhow, we try to be accommodating the best we can. And like I said, it's just about having a good time and having fun.
Yeah. Well, it gives them an opportunity to do a livery on their vehicles, or
yes,
for that identification. That's
and we have people that in all aspects of the hobby. So we have dirt racers, we have carpet racers, we have drag racers, we have mini Z racers, we have rock climbers, we have people that do helicopters, construction equipment. I mean, if there's something with the controller, we do it.
I like it.
So my mind automatically went to like an expiration date. Like, I kind of thought it was a numerical thing, a way to kind of flex how long you've been with the team, but that kind of went out the window here. If you're jumping all around the place, the number has nothing to do with how long you've been here. So number one in this situation is not the cool kid.
No, now granted, the top 50 numbers got snatched up pretty fast, and they but but like I said, we try to be accommodating, and we don't, ain't but one number I don't allow, and somebody did request it, but they didn't get it, and that's 666. So
I knew it.
I can see that.
That's the only number that we don't allow.
Yeah.
Because let's talk about your day job. Let's get this out of the way. We are going to. Our show is usually kid friendly. We try not to swear, or we keep it within. We try to color within the lines. We're not usually running around with scissors. We try to behave. But your day job is what?
Well, my actual day job is I'm a contractor, so I do home remodeling and whatnot. My what pays the bills is Gutter Boys Seamless Gutters, and that's what I do for a living. But we do all kinds of remodeling. But I'm also, in what you're referring to, I'm also a pastor of a small local church, which is Rock House Church of the Brethren, a little independent Free Will Baptist church.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Much
but I'm
respect.
on the clock on that 24/7.
Yeah.
That work never rests. I'm sure you are getting called for an ear and advice all the time. I'm sure.
I do, and I extend that into, not only, I'd also drive for Shift RC. I'm a Shift RC scale team driver, and I take prayer requests online. There's a lot of people that message me if they have something going on, whether they're part of the Dino family or not, they're always welcome to message me, and I'll have prayer with them or for them or however they prefer. It's just hand in hand with who I am now, so I don't separate, Pastor Don from Dino RC. It's hand in hand.
Well, that just shows the type of person that you are. I said before, you are a big personality at these events. You have a presence, and it carries over. I love it. I love to see you extending your hand. People always need this. Jeremy does a lot with Operation 11 Charlie for our veterans, tribute, and will recognize again Memorial Day weekend, and to the
Yes.
soldiers and to our fallen, making the ultimate sacrifice. The show is always dedicated in your memory, and it's a special weekend to them, or special day. But as a 14 years clean and sober, I try to always lend an ear or some advice, if I can, to anybody that's struggling with any type of addiction. So I get it. It's a job that lasts 24/7. There is no off switch when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I can totally understand what you're talking about, but you don't turn that side of you off.
No, and there's, in our hobby, there are a lot of people, the RCs themselves is an addiction. I mean, I have a lot of RCs. I definitely am addicted, but a lot of people have, turned from drugs or alcohol to RCs. And, if they're addicted to RCs, they can't afford drugs or spend all their money on RCs. But anyhow, it's, so it's a good thing. So you get out there, I haven't always been a pastor, so, I know a lot of where people are coming from. And so, I can relate to the problems that they have.
Well said. Yeah, Jeremy is an addict for sure. And myself, I traded one addiction for another. There is no question. I traded one for another, but it was a much more positive outlet. It was a way to put something, the bad got directed onto a better path. Not any cheaper, but better. Healthier. So, Dino, give us a little history here about the whole Dino family. Like, I know we have a lot of Dino people here, but anybody looking to know more about what you're doing, and if they are interested in joining your family, is that even a thing?
Yeah, so let me just walk you through it real quick. So in the beginning, I've been in RCs forever. And, I get mad at people that'll say, Tyco or something don't count. Well, when I was a kid, that's all there was. There wasn't no hobby store here in rural Kentucky. So if we got something, it was probably a Tyco or Radio Shack or something, and that's what we had, and we done the best we could with them. Probably my first hobby grade, I had RC10, but probably the first one that I really got involved with was the T-Max from Traxxas, and I built a track here at the house and we raced them. That's been 20 some years ago. But anyhow, I have about any RC that I ever had. But so what happened was I got grandbabies, and whenever my grandson come along, I'm Papa Monster Truck. If he says my name or asks for me, that's my name. So he lives in Tennessee. I don't get to see him as much as I would like. I get to see him a lot. And we talk sometimes on Facebook Live and different things. But anyway, so I thought it would be neat to make some videos and whatnot so that he could see what I was doing with crawling. And so he liked dinosaurs. I was already called Dino already because I used to be a really big online gamer. And I don't really game very much anymore, but I still have quite a few friends out there in the gaming world that call me Dino. So he liked dinosaurs, and he liked, RC cars. So Dino RC, evolved. And I've had him driving since he was chasing them when he was only crawling. And as soon as he was big enough to hold a controller, he's been driving. I'm ready to get him started, maybe racing down there in Tennessee if I can line it out. But anyhow, so we started it, and people, started to take notice, and we pulled in a few people. We had, at that time, the drivers, the team driver was really just starting to to kind of come on board as far as for crawlers. You know, we see team drivers for Loshi and, you know, associated drivers and different things in the buggy world, but not so much on, you know, crawling. And as that developed, you know, people wanted to be on a team or whatnot. And, you know, old hillbilly in Kentucky, he ain't got much chance of getting on no team, I figured. So I just started my own team. And, you know, I started out with the first product, and it was just, you know, it was just Dino line. So we make winch line, a few other products too, but that's what we started out with, and that was just because we didn't have anything any good. Everything kept breaking. You know, I comp a lot, and so the winch lines kept breaking. So I developed my own that wouldn't break, and I figured it'd be a good idea to have colors because everybody likes different color stuff. So I just got every color I could and developed with that. And then, you know, it's not really about the winch line. I could care less about it. It's just something that that we offer, you know, but I have people that are team drivers that have their own brand of winch line, you know, so I could care less about, you know, we have people that in the group that make all kinds of products, and some of them make the same products. And but anyhow, that's how we got started. We went to Beat the Creek actually, and I done some interviews and put them up on YouTube and recruited quite a few new drivers. And then it's just been a snowball effect. And we do a lot of charity work, so I'm always looking for new drivers. You know, I don't have a certain time of year or anything. If somebody's interested in being a Dino RC team driver, they just have to message me, and we'll get them, you know, see if they're a good fit. And if they're a good fit, then we'll make them a team driver. And then as you was talking earlier, we recently started a pro team driver because some of the local comps we went to, there was some confusion because we had sponsored drivers that were running in novice. Well, some of my team drivers might not have had an RC but a month, you know. Yeah. So that's the reason we come up with the pro team driver. I didn't really want a separation between it. And so we have a path. You actually earn your way onto the pro team driver team. And if you get, you know, on that, but it eliminates you from being able to run some of the novice type classes and wherever you go. So that's all it really is. We're just one big family.
That's pretty cool. That's a good way to to grassroots organize you know, a large group of people with common interest.
Yes, yeah. And you know, that's you know, we have people that you know just get started, and you know, we have a lot of questions and whatnot. Our driver chat is like insane. 24 hours a day you can get on there and say, hey, anybody up, and you can talk. Yeah. Half the time we've got a Zoom going till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I have to come home, take a dino nap so that I can talk all night. But I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I love the people. You know, I'm a really big people person. We have very little drama. You know, everybody, you always going to have some little bits of drama. This one gets mad at that one, but it's usually over just misunderstandings or something. But we try to keep all that out, all the negativity. Like I said, we have people that make, you know, we have 2 or 3 people that make, like, say, tow ropes, and they'll get on a private Zoom or on our Zoom or whatever, and they'll be exchanging ideas about how to make their products better, you know, working together. Even though they're separate, they'll work together to improve. And, you know, it's several things like that. We got people that make bumpers. We got people that make everything. There's actually there's probably a Dino RC team driver on almost every major team in the crawler industry anyway, and probably most of the racing industry.
Well, that's good to have. I mean, you get a lot of, you know, the uniqueness.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, you get a lot of aspects from different categories. You know, and new people tend to ask questions that we gloss over, and we never really go deep into it and really think it through. We just do it. And their question may inspire an older driver or a more experienced person to relook at something that we classify as simple or just something we haven't thought about in 20 years. So that it's good to have a mix of all of that at the same time. So
what's neat too in the crawlers, and we're real big into crawlers right now, and what's neat in it is, you have the comp guys that think they're the best, and I comp a lot. But let me tell you, the scale guy, the guy that builds in his, RC room or shop or whatever, maybe never even makes it out to a comp, those guys know their stuff. And, if you're wanting to make an electric motor run faster, yeah, talk to a buggy guy. But if you're wanting to make something, some guy be inside the cab and be able to move the steering wheel, you better talk to a scale guy, so, and, there's so much difference between somebody like, if somebody's building a trail rig, you got a comp guy on there. Oh, you need a, corrupt carbon chassis, and you're going to need some deluxe shocks and, some J concept tires and all this. And, they're probably telling you right, good advice anyway, if you're going to comp. But if you're just trailing, a lot of that stuff is counterproductive, or you don't really need it. So there's other avenues to the trail to make a good trail truck that's completely opposite of a good comp truck. I have trucks for every occasion, really. Every class that I can think of, I build one.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I did the comp thing, I did the racing thing, I did, I do the scale stuff. I'm kind of all over it. It's just by my whim. Like if I want to go comp, I'll just, I'll grab the VRD off the shelf and I'll go comp. Or if I want to scale, I got tons of that stuff that I can grab the shelf. But the questions like that people ask, like, what's the best servo? Well, I need to ask you about 20 questions so I can actually answer that one question. Yeah. Or what's the best tire? Like, where do you live? Where do you run? How do you run? That it's a lot of lead back questions, and and I, watching on Facebook, and as much as I try not to do it, when somebody says, "Hey, what's the best tire for this truck?" It's like I don't answer that because it's a it's a loaded question, and people are going to be like J-Con or Pitbull or whatever, but they never ask where you're running it or how you're using it.
Yeah. So. And I tell people that I have some Hyrex tires, but that's not really my favorite tire. But I think that's as far as for competition crawlers, that's kind of like the bar. You have to at least be that, good of a tire to be able to be pretty competitive, if you're going to be real competitive anyway. But for a trail guy or a scale guy, he might care less. He cares more about the tread design, the look on the vehicle. So then you run into some other aspects. And trust me, when you get into compounds, I have ripped 3 ruptures in the past month, and I love them. But where it's starting to get hotter, and I've got the softest compound, and a few of the places we comp, the rocks are really jagged, I have just destroyed the set. So I may have to move into a little stiffer compound as the summer comes on.
Yeah. And it makes a big difference. Kentucky, we were just down there. Your Kentucky mud is kind of a lot like our Pennsylvania clay.
Yeah.
It's real slick when it's wet, and it's powder when it's dry, and it's just, it's complex. It's got a lot of mica in it. So you tend to have to wash motors out a lot more often, bearings out a lot more often. But when you go west, like when I go to Utah, like you go to sand, and it's, that dry red rock is completely different. And they'll wear out a set of tires in a couple battery packs if they're running too soft of a tire. Like they'll bald it. And I'm like, hey guys, send me that tire, because that's the tire I need here that's already worn out. So it's tough to answer those questions.
It's very hard. And there's so many different type of events. If you're comping at a G6 event, that is completely different than if you're at, say, Super Shafty, which is more what we do. so if you're at those top events, they're completely different, and the requirements of your tires and your vehicle and your battery size can be completely different. I mean, sometimes we comp on, I've seen guys comp on 250s, hits milliamps. So they, a lot of guys use the smallest battery they can, just enough to get through 10 gates. But yeah, it's a very diverse hobby, and the guys I comp with locally, oh man, if they've got to go in any kind of dirt or mud, they're crying. And our last comp, the start gate, you had to go through mud, and they were like, "Oh my goodness," they weren't very happy about it. But anyhow, it's very interesting. It's interesting to see the differences between, like, I go some places in comp, and they've got the wooden structures, and I've been on some pretty good ones, corkscrews and slides and stuff that were a lot of fun. But like my regular comp crew that we might see at an event, they would not be interested in crawling on that. But me, on the other hand, I like to do it all. So, one of my favorite trucks to run is my high trail. My high trail is almost stock except for the servo, and well, I did change the wheels and tires now, but I ran it stock for a long time, even with stock tires. But it's a lot of fun. So this is another thing too that people don't get a lot, is you'll get, and I'm saying this because comp guys need to know. They need to know that they, just because you're driving a $2,000 crawler and you can get up and over a rock does not mean you're a better driver than some trail guy. Grab a stock rig. Sometimes we have one comp a year where everybody runs box stock, the 23 RC will go in and get 3 box stock trucks out, and everybody runs the same truck. Some of the guys at podium can't even get to the first gate. They're flopped over on their top, because they can't handle that suspension, that it's so much different to them. And so sometimes somebody that can drive a box stock truck really well out on the trail, they have a lot of talent as well.
Yeah. Some of the leaf spring guys, like I run a lot of Dino RX vehicles with leaf springs, and they're super top heavy, super scale, way over the top scale stuff. And driving those is actually a lot harder than driving a comp truck. A comp truck I can shoot, I know what it's going to do. But when you transition over to a heavy bodied leaf truck, it's a whole nother ball game, and you have to drive it like you're actually in it, and you're going to die when you roll it over. You have to think of it that way to be able to drive it well, and it's a whole nother hobby in of itself, is that ultra scale camel style or other trucks. But it's a completely different group, and I love when we make comp guys. We did it at Super Shafty a couple years ago. We make comp guys stand in one spot. Like, you have to drive 3 gates, but you can't step outside of this box, and it just shatters their brains.
I have some mobility issues, and it's not easy for me to, especially at Super Shafty or somewhere, to get up and down some of them rocks. And so I'm used to driving from a distance. Plus, I'm from a racing background, so I'm used to being up on a podium somewhere on the driver's stand driving. So, to me, having to follow around the truck on the rocks seems crazy. Like some of the G6 where they're running behind it, I'm like, you can forget that. I ain't doing that. But anyhow, but yeah, it's a big difference when you have to stand in one place and drive, and listen to your spotter. If you have a spotter, you have to listen to directions. We do some yearly comps that have that as well, and it's a blast. Yeah, and it's a lot harder for people than they think.
Yeah, blindfold drives.
Oh yeah,
they're always fun. Always fun.
There's so much to the hobby that's fun. The pullers. I like the pullers. I bought a big old sled. I have never even hooked up to it. Other people have used it, but I haven't even hooked up to it yet. But it's an awesome sled. I forget that guy's name that built it, but it's humongous. And but it's a blast. there's just so much. That's what I say. It's a great hobby because, and I love the minis. I probably have 100 minis and still got, parts to build new ones, and I tell people sometimes they'll look at some of my old trucks. One of my original race trucks is right there. It's just off camera, but it's still got the mud on it, from where I raced it the last time 20 years ago. And people's like, oh, why don't you do so? I said, because it's already, I've already enjoyed it there. Now I'm enjoying it there. I'd die if something happened to it, or if I got rid of it, I wouldn't be able to stand it.
Yeah, there's certain trucks in my collection that just have, they just have a nostalgia, a firm memory attached to it. And there's no way I would ever get rid of it. And I like it the way it is, where it is, and that's good enough for me.
I picked up one at Beat the Creek on the way out. Loaded everything up. We were leaving, and Austin from Crep Carbon was out there, and I made a little joke to him because he was still loading, and but he had a gas dragster sitting there, new in the box from like 2000 or 2000 something. Never had gas in it. Well, I snatched it up just for the artwork on the box. 27 megahertz, I think it is. Yeah. I forget. It's crystals. Most people don't even know what that is now.
Yeah.
And it's 55 Chevy or 57 Chevy, but anyhow, it's beautiful. And I probably won't never, other than show it to somebody, it'll never come out of the box. It'll just stay in there, and I'll enjoy it just like that.
Yeah, some of those, the Bowlink cars, the Hemis and stuff like that. I got a couple in boxes and, pick them up along the way. And it's not that I'm ever going to do anything with them. I'll probably never build them. But I know as a kid, I kind of pandered after them sitting in the hobby shop. It was like, man, if I would love to have that. And of course I was a kid, so I couldn't afford it. But, after gaining a little bit of affluence, I was able to purchase them as I saw them sitting around. So I love buying 30-year-old Tamiya kits.
Yes. I have a Blackfoot here that's original. It's got the original battery, everything booked, everything. Got the the stick controller. Kirby had a Chevy bow tie clodbuster down at Scott Polson's at Yankabilly Trails, and I picked it up off of him. So I do the same thing. If I see something, especially if it was something that I wanted maybe when I was a kid and we didn't have any possible way of getting it, if I find them now, I'll snatch them up. I don't know about you guys, but it may hurt the value, but I like that they're repopping some of the older cars just for the, for the people that couldn't get one, or, even for the new generations to enjoy.
Yeah, there's a few that I don't want them to repop, but there's, I got the wall, but there's a Blazing Blazer in the middle of that second row, and I saved up for, I don't know, 2 years on a newspaper route to buy that $700 truck in the late 80s from a hobby shop. And I built it, and then I had, a whole nother life, and then it kind of found me again. And they're awesome. I hope they never repop the Blazing Blazer.
Yeah.
But some of them, I have the RC10, the 40th, and the Clear up on the shelf too, that one day I'll build because they just need to be built, in my opinion. But it's good.
Sometimes I'll buy two. Sometimes I'll buy one and put it up, and then the other one I'll get it out. And sometimes people say, you're not going to, like the little Bettys when they came out. I've got one in the box, and then I've got one that's one of my comp trucks, and people's like, you're not going to run that, are you? I was like, yes, that's what I bought it for.
It's got I want to enjoy
it. It's something cool I wanted to show y'all too. I know Mike knows about it, but So check this guy out. This is one of our trading cards that give a shout out to Bobby from RC Garages.
Yeah.
Me and him, he helps Dino RC tremendously. A lot of it's behind the scenes, but he's constantly helping us, whether it's with our trophies or whatnot. But he made it possible for us to get our team driver cards mass produced, and this is a set of the first 12 cards that were prototypes. We're actually changing just a little bit on them, but anyway, we're going to try. I don't know how y'all do it, but I want to give one of these away while we're on here to somebody. I can't see chat or nothing, so you all have to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You tell me what or I can think up of a question, and if they answer the question, first person that answers the question correctly,
you do it however you want to do it, and I'll live with it. How about that?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me. I'll think of something, and then we'll do that.
We got two things we're going to give away. We're going to give away one of these packs, and then we're going to give away a custom carry-all. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you all. I don't know how they'll see it, but carry-all and Dino RC kind of jersey.
Oh my God!
So we're going to give away one of these. I do a lot of custom graphic design, and this is actually the one Mike don't like, but I love this shirt, and since it's Memorial Day, I think this would be a cool one to do. But we'll
I question whether I like Mike.
I love it.
That's a good shirt.
Right.
But anyhow,
I like it.
They anyhow, it's a pretty cool shirt, and it's loaded up, with carry-all. But we do have another one that's this one. I'll let whoever picks out, they can have either one they want, either design. But this has got their y'all's little cartoon guy, which I love, and I've even got a tag. You all probably can't see it on here, but I've got graffiti Dino RC, and I even hit a little RC Garages on there because Bobby does so much for us, and I know he works with you all too. So anyhow, I hid that on there, but a little Easter egg. But anyhow, they can have either shirt they want, and any size they want. And so we'll give. You can do it both to the same person, or you can do two people. Either however you want to do it. I know y'all's on a different time than me, so I can be on here for 4 or 5 hours. Won't break a sweat.
Right.
My
so that is important. You're right. When do you typically go live? I know you're normally doing something.
So
is it every week?
So I have a live giveaway that I do every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do that. It's usually about a 2-hour show, kind of a variety show, and I act a lot more like what I do. I've been kind of calm tonight, really. But anyhow, I get crazy, and we have a lot of fun. Easy Chopper, one of our team drivers, he keeps me in pickle pops. So sometimes there's a gag gift, and if they get a pickle pop, they have to do a video of themselves drinking it. Let me tell you, these things, unless you just really love pickles, and even if you do like pickles, these things are pretty potent. But these are actually an energy type drink, and they help with cramping. Runners use them and whatnot, but they're sour.
We use them during the G6.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun, and we play a Muppet song that goes with it, and we have a lot of fun with it, and I go crazy. I'm all the time doing something funny on there or making something. I've got people that say nobody's pimped out a logo like me. I mean, I've got Dino RC underwear, bathing suits, I'll do a lot of stuff just for fun, and I'll give it out as a gag gift, to somebody. That's what they'll win, if it's picking something. But anyhow, we do that every Sunday night, 9 p.m., unless I'm gone, out of town or, at an event or something. And then we also just recently, and, I'm going to put this out there, every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, and it's only an hour live on Facebook. I do a Bible study. We're in Genesis chapter 7. I don't push my, religious beliefs onto my drivers or anything, but they asked if I would do one. So, we're into it about 6-7 weeks now, and so far it's been good. So that's something that's always available for everybody. That's not just my team drivers, but we have 1,700 people in the dyno group, and not everybody wants to be a team driver. Some people's just happy to be a part of what we do. And we'll have our autism auction coming up September 28th. I think it's the last Saturday in September. Last year we raised $8,000. So we're hoping to do really good with that. Any vendors out there, I need stuff, but our team drivers they're always sending me stuff, for those type things, or they may buy something and drop ship it, for it. But we do a live Zoom every night. So every night, somewhere between 10 and 11 o'clock, I go on Zoom and we Zoom chat till, like I said, literally usually about 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes the West Coast guys log on and I'll be like, oh my goodness, why didn't you go to bed? Because they're 4 hours behind us. So it's only like midnight to them. And sometimes I'll talk to 6 o'clock in the morning on Zoom, and then I'll say, I have to lay down. And I'll lay down for 3 hours, then I'll go to work at 9. So I definitely have to take a down on that during the day. But we do a lot of cool stuff. We have, we're real big into autism. My wife teaches Head Start, and I love kids. And so I like to help, young autistic kids. We give to the Ava Center here locally. That's the Autism Center. And I also take care of all our counties. Pike County is the largest state in Kentucky. It's probably bigger in some states. And we take care of all their Head Starts and all their special education units for the autistic kids. And we send out stuff to anybody that has an autistic child. If they'll message me when we get started. Last year we sent them out blankets, and we sent them out to all the kids. Plus we sent them autistic toys, little fidget devices that helps them to be able to learn, concentrate. But we're pretty passionate about doing those things. We just got done, helping one of our team drivers had a house fire, and we had, I sent a box to him that was all donation. That was probably $2,000 or more of RC parts. And then we raised up some cash for him too, to help him. I can't help everybody, and that's part of the thing that as a pastor is good, because I listen to the Lord and he guides me. And, whenever we connect and I have the time, and we're not already have our efforts somewhere else and there's some type of calls, I like to be involved. I'm definitely wanting, I haven't been able to yet, but I am definitely interested in doing something with Operation Charlie. So keep me in mind in that.
Yeah.
Even if it's something small, I don't have to, sometimes I am a big personality and I take over sometimes stuff, but I'm happy just to be a sponsor, and be happy to donate stuff or whatever to.
A lot of times the biggest thing that we need is a voice. Just sharing, like if we're doing raffles or if we're doing events, and just mentioning it and getting it out there into different groups and different entities, so that they at least just have knowledge of it, or just sharing what we do. As Katie Carter, first, she's the one that got the trading cards.
Okay. Now
I'm watching it as we go up through here. So.
Yeah, I seen none of that. So
yeah,
somebody messaged me afterwards.
We got you.
Okay,
got you.
And I'll make sure they get them.
So yeah, like a lot of the stuff we do at 11 Charlie, like the reason that we raise money, one is to put that into the veterans programs we do at the VA, where we actually we're tactile with veterans in those facilities and those groups. And we do the classes and we do a lot of that hands-on stuff with them. And it's how we travel to get there. And it's how we are able to get RCs into their hands when they're just not able to purchase them.
Yes.
And that's why we raise money. And it's a necessary evil of a 501c3 is
yes.
you have to have money to do what you're doing because you're too small for grants or you're not national. You don't have, you're not in 26 states, so you can't apply for federal money. So until we get that big, we can't do that. So that's what we do. But yeah, I'll reach out to you and we can partner up. If you
definitely do, because I'm definitely over 26 states.
yeah, definitely. So like we have the June 1st, we have the crawl at Reefs facility. And there's a lot of other partners there. So it's a lot of access. MIP, Associated, there's a bunch of companies,
yes.
Pirates. They'll all be out there and you get some access, by buying that ticket. Well, that ticket is part of our fundraising.
Sure.
So if you have people on the West Coast and they wouldn't normally go to Reefs because maybe they're not associated with Reef, but hey, go check it out. It's a cool indoor crawling course. And if you're a comp guy, that's where you're going to test your mettle against some of the best. So just because you're not sponsored by him or you're sponsored by somebody else doesn't mean you can't go. You're supporting 11 Charlie. So it's a way to go there and experience something different. So
yeah, that's wonderful, and we'll definitely make sure you post that on our group page. And we're real good at, I've got some drivers or drivers' wives usually that they're team drivers and they don't even maybe RC, but they are very instrumental in what we do because they take care of a lot of things behind the scenes or do a lot of sharing. And so our Dino Divas is what they're called. We got a purple bag X and we got a regular X, and we don't leave our Divas out there. We couldn't make it without them. And yeah, like you were saying, it makes no difference. And I love that about, I drive for Shift, but Ron doesn't care. I have every servo in the country here, just about in something, it's, there's plenty of room in the hobby and there's so many good products out there. I've got one of the Reefs. Well, I got a few of the Reefs, but I just now traded or bought an SX6 that had that beast winch servo in it. I can't wait to try it out.
Don't get your fingers messed up in there.
Oh, I've got Dino line on it, Mammoth, which is our Mammoth line. We didn't get into that, but our Mammoth line is 500 pounds. And I only recommend it for fish scale stuff, but our regular line is 300 pounds. I have people that have pulled Ford Rangers. They got wives that tight walk it. We're getting ready to do a Dino line challenge on our Facebook page. I haven't put it up yet, but I'm going to give something really nice away. And for the best video of people putting Dino line to work and see what they come up with. But I get some crazy stories sometimes.
Nice. Hey, Mike, you got some. We're at 8:56.
Don't forget to give her t-shirt away.
Yep, I'm working on that.
Okay.
He's going to work on that. Jeremy, we're going to try a quick game of Jeremy. I'm going to quick throw him in the hot seat for a game of this and that. Hopefully the lag will cooperate and this is going to go smoothly. So let me pull up our Jeopardy music. Dino, this is going to show your drivers a different side of you. We are going to take a look at the lighter side of what makes you crack. There is a time clock. We have our 1 minute time clock. We have our Jeopardy music. I'm going to give you two examples. Apple, or we'll say Samsung or iPhone. You just fire right back at me. We don't need an explanation you don't need to explain your answers. Just keep this rapid fire. And then we're going to And we will get through this. Jeremy will be keeping score and also looking to present the. He's going to present the final question as we get to it. And we do have one new segment of this show, or this segment we call This and That. We have a new one that we have. We're going to try it tonight also. As soon as This and That is finished, we're going to quick try the high five. So bear with me. As soon as This and That is done, you are not off the hook. So we are going to pull up our Jeopardy music. And if you are ready, here we go. Call or text?
Talk.
Almond Joy or Mounds Bar?
Almond Joy.
Go to a bar or go to church?
Definitely go to church.
F. Sorka or Yeah Sorka?
Yes, Sorka.
Twix or Snickers?
Oh, Lordy, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Oh, man.
This one's double points.
Oh, man. I am going to go with Twix because that's what flavor coffee I'm drinking.
Okay. Rattle can or airbrush?
Airbrush.
Autobot or Decepticon?
Autobot.
Rust bucket or Chrome?
Oh, wow. I'm a Chrome guy.
Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas.
Some of these we can fill in for you, I know. Candy Apple Red or Murdered Out?
Or what was the second one?
Murdered Out.
Murdered Out,
Like
black.
Black out.
Oh, black. Oh, wow. I'm going to go with the black.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Jeep or truck?
A truck.
Win the lottery or meet your soulmate?
Oh, Lordy, I already got my soulmate, so I'm going to pick win the lottery.
Flat rail or C channel?
Huh.
You're a
I'll
comp
go
guy.
with-
You've been saying no.
I mean, I'm all guys. I like them both, but I'll go with flat.
Oh. All right. Hunt or fish?
I do both of those too, but I really enjoy hunting.
Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
KFC or Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Sunrise or sunset?
I like sunrise.
Drive or passenger?
Drive.
Speeding ticket or parking ticket?
Probably both, but speeding ticket's what I get.
Okay. Boom. Would you rather meet yourself 10 years in the future or 10 years in the past?
I'm going to go in the future.
Hard shell or soft shell taco?
Soft shell taco.
Hand dipped or soft serve ice cream?
Hand dipped.
UFO or Bigfoot?
Oh, Lordy, I like them both, but we'll go with Bigfoot.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter? He said
Smooth.
yes. Air guitar. Jeremy's making a new friend tonight. Air guitar or air drums?
Oh man, I'm proficient at both. I'll say air guitar.
1 scoop or 3?
3 scoops. I got the soulmate right here.
Oh, there you are.
1 scoop right
Look at the. That was good.
See,
That
why
was
I told
perfect.
y'all I needed was the lottery. I already got my soulmate.
Yep. You won both. in
I
my
love
opinion.
Yep.
Go back in there.
Okay, babe.
I'm so tired.
A 3-day weekend. Do you want Fridays or Mondays off?
Monday.
BMX or skateboard?
I did both those too, but I'm gonna go with BMX.
Full auto or semi-automatic?
I'm good enough with the semi-automatic.
Land or sea?
Land or what?
See.
Sea. Ocean. Sea.
Land.
Crocs or flip-flops?
I'm gonna go with Crocs because I ain't crazy about flip-flops.
Speed or torque?
Oh man, I like torque.
O.J. Simpson, guilty or not?
He was guilty.
Monster truck or NASCAR?
Monster truck.
Yeah, because
Double
NASCAR-
backflip or
Double
backflip or front flip?
Oh wow, I don't want to try neither one of them. But if I'm gonna kill myself, I'm not supposed to go for the gold and do the double.
All right. X Games or Olympics?
Probably X Games.
All right. High five. Here we go. Rapid fire. The last 5, you are stranded on an island. You get to choose one RC car.
Well, if it's one RC
One car.
it's gonna be my. I like the Traxxas High Trail. I don't want it to break down. It's got to last.
One movie for the rest of your life. Stranded on an island, one movie.
That's easy. Jurassic Park. I got to see the dinos.
Stranded on an island, one band.
One band, it would be Guns N' Roses.
One food.
One food would be pizza.
One person, dead or alive.
Oh my God, that's hard. But if I can't live without my beautiful wife, so I'll say I need my wife.
You're gonna get another kiss. All right, Jeremy, that's it. He survived.
He did survive, and we do have a winner of the T-shirt.
Awesome.
That'll be Mr. Charles Brown, because
Perfect.
he guessed burger as you between burgers and hot dogs.
Nice.
Yep.
One last plug I wanted to put in, and this is because I gotta have another bag for me. Everybody wanted my bag, my carry-all bag with the Dino, the first ever Dino carry-all bag, Dino RC. So I'm putting it up for the autism auction that we're doing in September, and the opening bid has already been made for $250. So just remember, I need another one. So I got some comps coming up. I need my bag. My other one's all eat up. But anyhow, so we'll be posting that everywhere. I'm sure that's going to be a really good it will probably go for more than that. I'd like to see it go double, but we'll see where it ends up at.
Mr. Mike Hammond chimed in 300.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
It'll be a bidding war for that bag, and so I sold the Diva bag while I was down there. I forget who bought it now, but he wanted the other one, and I turned down 175 for it at the comp at Beach Creek. Oh yeah, there we go.
there it is.
He's got them right there. But they're awesome, and Shift showed me they got their bag. So happy to see that. We may end up with one of those too. I don't know, but anyhow, I'm excited about that. I appreciate you guys, letting us be a part of the Carryall family, and letting our logo be connected with yours. Like I said, we appreciate being on here, and like I said, anything that we can do to help, we're more than willing to do our best if there's something we can contribute to.
We greatly appreciate your support and your family of supporters. You've got a great team, and you tickle my heart watching your passion, just seeing this rawness and the fun that you are having, and your message going out to your team is very inspirational. You are get out there and have fun, people.
People don't realize how much, when I go to Beat the Creek, I don't even drive a truck. I take a bunch, but I never leave the tent because I enjoy talking to people and meeting people, and I don't want to miss them. I hate to leave the tent for any reason because I don't want to miss somebody that I haven't met before. But my favorite person meeting, and I don't even know their name, is a young lady brought up, if y'all didn't see it, a boy in a wheelchair to our tent. And kids like dinosaurs, so they come to us. We're real colorful. That little boy didn't move an inch. I didn't know if he could move. And we picked him out a shirt and donated to him, and I took it over there, and he liked to pull me down in that wheelchair with him. And he was so excited. His mother, I guess that was his mother, she was excited. But I couldn't even get no spiel out there. Usually I've got a whole big thing that I'll do, big, because my heart was so, touched with it. I was just trying not to just break down crying. But anyhow, and I do a lot of events, like we do usually at least 2 a month, sometimes 3 a month that we put on, Tennessee, West Virginia, Kentucky. And there's people, I love doing them at state parks because people will come up to see what it's about. And there's so many kids out there that are disabled. I turned a group of kids loose with the high trail, or the mini high trail, at the last one. When I got it back, it was like somebody took sandpaper to it. They had raked it over in rocks so much, but it held up. But I could care less. That was a blast to just sit and watch them play. Like I said, we are very passionate about helping kids, and getting kids in the hobby. And I'm going to say this because, there's some groups in our hobby that don't take heed to this, but, and they cater more to the adults in it. I know the adults are the ones that spend the money. But, if you don't have kids in the hobby, it will die.
Guaranteed.
You have to have kids. If we don't cater to the kids, and, I know sometimes no kids show up, but I always have, youth trophies, have a youth class available, for kids to come, and they don't have to if they don't have an RC, that ain't no problem. We'll give them one to run, but it's, we have to take care of the children.
Yep, absolutely. It's a fantastic message, and it rings true. In any hobby, you have to be able to pass it on. That's kind of the point of the hobby, whether it's woodworking, metalworking, or RC cars. If you're not passing that knowledge on to the next generation to do great things with, is it really a hobby for you?
Yeah.
So that's part of every hobby is passing knowledge along. So, yeah.
There's some people that are absolutely against it. I know people that do not want to be around no kind of kids and stuff. I don't understand that myself. I know people have different personalities, but I would ask them, to search their heart, and try to find out, where their compassion is. But, something we say in the church is, the youth is the church of today. They're the church leaders of tomorrow. Well, it's the same thing in the hobby. They're the hobby today, but in 20, 30 years from now, it ain't going to be us on YouTube. It's going to be some of these young kids getting on here and hopefully still spreading, the word, because it's not, I want to help people, if they got any questions about RCs or something that maybe I can pass knowledge and the fun of the hobby. But it's the love and the fellowship is what I want to pass on. And that's what we need to concentrate on if we want our hobby to continue to grow and to do good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bravo.
Well said.
Well, Dino, I can't thank you enough. Your message is very inspiring. You are on a mission, my friend, and you have our 110% support in what you are doing. And I know I can speak on behalf of Jeremy the same way across the board in whatever you're doing, from Carry All to the RAD Show, from Addie's to Munster, whatever name tag you want to put on us, we have your back. Keep doing what you're doing and spreading your message.
And any sponsors that, small or big, I make logos for little guys too, but, I don't care if it's Reefs or whoever it is, but if they would like to be on a card, I'll be happy to put them on there as long as they're a reputable company. And, it don't cost them nothing. I send them out. It's just free advertising, but people like to see those things, and we like to help even big companies. If Horizon said, "Hey, can we have a card?" I'd be happy to make them one. But just anybody, it doesn't matter, big or small.
If we don't get a Sergeant Major card.
Yeah, the Sergeant Major card. Yeah.
I want a Sergeant Major card.
It's awesome to be on a card for sure.
Yeah. I work with many companies, so I can think of a few that would definitely entertain do trading cards.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like to do one of the company, and then I like to do one of whoever's in the forefront. I can do as many as they want, but it's just something fun. And like I said, we have the means now to mass produce. I'm still looking into getting them. I'd still like to have them, professionally wrapped. That's something that we're still looking into the future of getting. We were looking last night for gum sticks to see if we could get individually wrapped gum sticks.
Oh, yes.
So keep your eye out. If you find any, let me know.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I signed one of them, or I signed two of them at Beat the Creek. There's some $5 value ones out there.
Yeah. Wow. So this is another one of our team drivers, JD Ashford. He does some online auctions and different things, but this is two of his that I just have handy. I have his over here in a box, but so what we do with those is I'll keep one for me, and then the other one will go into a set for auction. So these are the 2023 sets, which I still have a couple. I don't really sell them, but toward the end of the year, I'll make up a few sets, and then people can buy them. But usually I give them away. So like if somebody buys Dino Line, then they always get one a random team driver card in it, or anything that I package gets one. Yeah. But
that's awesome.
We're going to try to make up some packs like this of 10 or 12 cards with Dino Line, so it ups the amount they get.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it's just something fun to do. Another aspect of the hobby. Ain't going to make you any better driver, but it's cool to have a card. And we make trophies out of them. Sometimes I'll make a first, second place, custom trophy out of them. We've got one for an event that they're doing over in Wyoming, and I made this one for them. The name of their event is Birthday Bash, and it's WRC Outlaws, and so we made them up some for their event that they can put in their gift bags, and it's just I enjoy doing graphic design, so I'm not the best at it, but I'm pretty decent, and I enjoy doing it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that's why we got
look good. I can make anybody look good. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He looks good in that car.
Yeah, you almost need AI to make him look good.
Yeah, I have AI.
Oh, and then he ran away.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to have me on, you're going to have special edition shows for Dino. You can't just have 45 minutes. We're going to have at least an hour and a half.
I know. Yeah,
we're going to have to do this again.
I'm still saying howdy if 45 minutes in.
Yes. We have to break people in. We have to give them a little tease. Dino needs to be taken in rations. Like
that may be true.
I like it. All right. Well, Dino, we are going to send you out of here so we can get on with our weekend. We can't thank you enough. I know we'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you guys.
All right. Thank you, sir. Oh, I cut him off mid-sentence, sir. That was not cool.
He's going to see us somewhere. So I'm going to look out back later. Well, I know it takes about 8 hours to drive here from Kentucky, so I got time.
It was no disrespect. It was not cutting him off on purpose. But Jeremy, sometimes we just have to pull the plug. You have to get the cane out and yank it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do him in chapters. There's a lot there to unpack.
There is a lot to unpack.
I feel like I want to make bunk beds with him.
Right.
He's a cool cat, and I wish I'd met him sooner.
I told you. I was like, it is going to be worth it.
Yep. Very cool.
Show and tell, Jeremy. Give us a Memorial Day. Give us a Memorial Day weekend show and tell. We need to talk Knights Customs. I promise you, we need to talk about Knights Customs.
There's man, he's got some cool stuff coming. I'm really looking forward to what's getting ready to be released as he fine tunes and teases us on Instagram and Facebook daily. But so probably when the Fordyce came out, you want me to jump right in? Yep.
Well, yes, I do, but I want you to speak to these Dino people that are still here, because believe me, James isn't going to like me when I say this, but not everybody knows what the hell Knights Customs is.
Yeah. So James Knight he creates what the manufacturers leave in a vagueness with trucks, whether it's an element truck that they don't have an interior in, or a vehicle that it kind of looks like a Toyota but it doesn't have a Toyota grill. Like, he fills that gap. So, and he does it through the medium of 3D printing files. And you can buy the files made. You can purchase them and they'll mail them to you. Or you can buy the files if you have the ability to print at home, or your best friend has a printer and he or she hooks you up. So that's who James Knight is. And his cleverness knows no bounds. His detail is phenomenal. Down to needles on gauges, on dashes, baseball hats on drivers, little nods here and there to some of the scale community, like Scale Builders Guild or Harley Designs, or a plethora of YouTubers out there that have a following like that. So that's who he is.
Easter eggs, and hidden jokes, inside jokes.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a very long time. So if you think back to when I first had my first Knights file actually was from Shapeways, and it was the SR5 from Proline when they did that, along with the metric. So I dove in at that point, and I've never looked back. They're fantastic. And as I came into 3D printing on my own here at the house, I started buying the files and being able to print them myself, which is very rewarding as part of my hobby and my growth in the hobby. So recently, it's been a minute, but he did a Fordyce file, and the Fordyce kit that he sold had a driver in it it's Matty Cat from Scale Builders Guild, and I printed that for my Fordyce, and I love it. Recently, I got a Zool. It's over here on the bench, and it doesn't have an interior in it. And I did a little bit of measuring. I did a whole lot of math and calculus. Never in public. Never do math in public. But I figured out how to take the Fordyce interior file that I bought and shrink it down. And my calculus got me to 82.49%. And what it did is it allowed me to build the interior for the Zool out of the Fordyce file. If you're familiar with the Fordyce file, the Fordyce on the front of the interior has like a V on it that attaches underneath the cowl. Basically trim that off, a little bit of trim on the backside, and it actually fits really nicely in the Zool. And it's in there. It's kind of hard to see, but I did cut the windows out, so I got a Matty Cat in there. It's all painted up. There's a lot of reflection in there, but it's in there. On the bottom side, you can see how well it fits. There's a little bit of gap because it's not made for this. But that's the beauty of the Knights Custom files. If you buy the files, you can resize them. You can do things that you want to do to make it fit what you need it to fit. So way cool. Very, very way cool. So that's my spiel on Knights. And I'm really happy with it. The detail on the driver figure, like this one's just, this is my sample print to get sizing done. And it is quite spectacular. Like you can see all the wrinkles in the coat. You can see his ear. Let's see if it will focus in. You can see his ear in there. Like it's all there. And they're phenomenal. And even
and what he's about,
go ahead,
Jeremy, what he's about to do for the people, I know the CJ is very popular amongst the Dino family. He has brought vans. He has he's brought us Matty Cat vans on the lower half of the leg. We are going to have a full body for the CJ.
Yeah. I'm impatiently waiting for its release. I have the CJ up here, and I fully intend to use that driver because it is a feet up, full shoes like the Vans. The whole deal. It's going to be correctly sized and proportioned to the CJ7, and to me that's just fantastic. Yeah, there you go.
All that work to have that gap.
Yeah. So really looking forward to that. And that's going to be a winner. And he started working on the new Vanquish truck, the H10 Optic, to be able to put not that the Optic doesn't already have a driver figure and spare seat, but something a little more detailed. He adds that diamond to that roughness of those trucks. So really looking forward to that. I have an H10 coming probably Tuesday, should be delivered, and really looking forward to that file to put a good interior in a nice hard body truck, because it is a hard body, technically. It's ABS. So yeah.
So well done. That was a little tidbit That was Knights Customs in a nutshell. Uh, we can go chapters on James Knight. Every week we could do a segment on what James Knight is doing, but it was important to hit the CJ and this new Vanquish truck. And I figure that is a quick little transition, tee that up. What's coming from Vanquish?
Yeah, the H10 Optic was released on Thursday, and overwhelming positive response on that ready-to-run platform. It's got a lot of innovation in it, and it's already sold out. So they're already in the pre-order stage for the next batch coming in mid to late June. It's available in 2 liveries, the Yokohama livery and the Sparco livery. One day might be popular enough to actually get these on the influencer list, but I doubt that that'll happen. I'll just keep buying them.
Right.
Because that's what I do. I just buy. I just buy stuff. But it's got a lot of innovation. It's got a completely different rethought scale hydro steering mechanism on the front end of it, behind the axle with a vertical servo. Think, along the lines of the TRX4M with that vertical servo. They did the same thing, except they moved it over and down beside the pumpkin to lower it. So I already have electronics set up, completely ready for it. So I'm ready to receive and run this thing. I've watched all the reviews, so I don't need to do any stock work. I have a lot of stuff in stock to make it stock my way. So I'll probably never drive it, and it's ready to run form, and just change everything and make it me. But that's part of the beauty of this truck. You can do almost 5 servos in it. You can run it out to 6 channels. Everything is already there to be able to do that. All the mounting pieces are there. I'm starting to call it the ready to run for a builder. You can do it either way, and it's tough for the ready to run crowd to be able to advance their rig into something that's more personalized, with spending a ton of money on a bunch of different modification parts, and you have to wait time for people to develop things. Where Vanquish, with this truck, they did it all up front. They gave you the capacity to put a servo winch in the front and the back. They gave you the capacity to put a dig in it with an add-on part to the VFD transmission. They gave you a lot of options. You can put the twin in it. Both the servo mounts are there for the shifting mechanism for that. So you can really kind of build a ready to run truck as if you're building a kit truck. It just happens to come with electronics, whether you choose to keep them or not. The radios are fantastic. It's really a nice platform for the radio. I may keep it in there and may not switch it over to my Spectrum radio systems, because then I can hand it off to somebody. I have multiples of those radios. Maybe I'll just put all my Vanquish trucks on that radio system. That way I know which one it is. But it's, love it or hate it, they're really good at figuring this stuff out. The price point is fantastic. It is cheaper than I thought it would be for what it is. It's a full plastic cage buggy, trail buggy, and that's not easy to do. It's
it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
It has a new look. It has a real new look to it.
And skipping the Lexan, like, that's an easy out, right? You can cheapen up a truck big time by putting Lexan on it and then selling clear panels later if you want to personalize it. These are ABS, and you can just strip the stickers and decals off of it and put whatever livery you want on it with a vinyl wrap. Like, you can get really far with what they've already given you. And it's a lot less investment to personalize it later down the road, which is, it's a consideration for purchase points for ready to run customers. And think they really nailed it. And the possibility of putting 4-wheel steer on it without aftermarket support being a necessity is also awesome. Like they've already put the provision in the back, so you can, people are going to park these things out. The front axles are going to be popular in the part outs because they're going to make 4-wheel steers out of it because they left room for that servo. It's you've heard all this if you've watched the reviews and whatnot, but from a builder guy that's going to modify it right out of the box, like I think they did a pretty decent job, and I haven't had it in my hands yet. So, I'm pretty excited to get it and dig into it, and really looking forward to it.
Just talking like the good cop now. You're the bad cop. I'll be the good cop. I just want to simply say, Vanquish is that different. If Vanquish is that truck, if it was your first Vanquish you were ever going to buy, you will remember it because it's just different. It's not like any other truck. The first time I bought a VS410, it was something I will never forget. It was a great experience. Everything went together differently. Just kind of fit.
So it's
it's
precision.
The quality. Right? Yes.
Yeah. When the original VS410 came out, it was in a foam, the hard parts were in
laser cut
panel inside the box, and the presentation was very very
elegant.
Elegant, yeah. And they stopped doing that, and they went to bag parts because mass production, blah blah blah. And it's there's very few manufacturers that have taken a nod from them. Boom Racing still does it. You still get a laser cut foam, for rails and stuff like that. Boom Racing and Vanquish are probably pretty comparable as far as that precision quality build experience goes. But it's that ready to run aspect that Vanquish is perfecting. They're perfecting it. They've done it multiple times now with the Phoenix and the Fordyce, and they're really refining themselves fast. It took other manufacturers a long time to get that far, and some of them never have gotten that far to what we're seeing out of ready to runs now.
Yeah, phenomenal. Jeremy, I want to end on the Ascent.
The Ascent 18.
Can you hold? Yeah.
So if you're still watching, there's a piece of tape over something on this truck that I can't show you what it is. But so the Ascent 18 is quickly becoming my favorite platform here. Trail Hobby released the portal axle sets for it, and they are fantastic. Like the fit and finish is absolutely beautiful. The price point is spot on.
What are we talking? What is the price on portals?
So, I
ballpark 100.
So 100-ish.
100-ish.
I'll go with that. It's always safe, right? But
are they up on the site now? Are they on the trail site now? Okay.
Yeah, they've been up for a couple weeks now, and they're doing well. If you can't find them on Amazon yet, they will be on Amazon. It will be one of the SKUs in Amazon for trail, if it's not already. But what they did was they took it from a multi-piece plastic axle housing that Red Cat gave us, and they turned it into a one-piece solid machined aluminum housing, which gives a lot of strength and durability, a lot less flex and movement of parts, and it's a lot better. The stock one, the C's, I was losing screws out of the C's, even with their aftermarket brass knuckles. I was losing screws out of them for some reason. I don't know why. I use the correct Loctite. I don't use blue ones, little ones. I use purple. And for some reason, the steering just pushed them out. But the trail ones haven't been doing that. So I'm happy with that.
You're at 90 for a pair.
$90 for a pair, which is fantastic pricing. And it uses all the stock internals. One of Treel's bonus points is that it's all backward compatible to the OE. There's no funky custom anythings that can go out of stock. They rely on the OE for hard part internals for the most part. There's a couple exceptions to that, but they kind of pride themselves on being able to get a stock replacement internal part that's more likely to break, like a portal gear or an axle stub or something. You can just go to any Red Cat place and get it. So yeah, that's where we're at on this one. And this one has my favorite body. It's the Suga, the Mini Suga. And the cool thing about the Mini Suga is that the interior for this is actually the Bronco SCX 24 interior. It fit directly into that body, which is fantastic.
Wow.
I like Sugas so much. I went in on the group buy, and I have a carbon fiber Suga body. If you don't know Volvo Suga. Yeah. So these were radio cars in the 30s, and this is hand laid carbon fiber by Thomas Bazalik.
Wow.
And there's only, I think, 30 of these ever going to be made. But yeah,
wow.
I got them. So I'm chuffed on that.
Wow.
And it's going to go on my all metal Treel SCX Pro. Yep.
Wow.
And the files, just waiting on the files for the interior, and then I'll get to that one.
So your Red Cat 18 looks like it's completely decked out with Treel everything. I don't think you've missed a part there.
Nope.
Can we just go back to a time before Treel parts?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
The ascent. It worth it before? Yes. For $90, this is the best mini platform that I've laid hands on, and I've got them all.
Wow. Okay.
This was a solid purchase. I got it at the initial buy-in price, the pre-order price at $99 or whatever. And it's quite good for, in its stock form. It had a lot of innovation in it that you didn't think you would be able to see in the mini world again. After the SCX 24s, after the TRX 4Ms, after the FCX 24s, like all that stuff. I think Red Cat, they did it right. They did it.
But you're talking for the box. You're talking $50 less than a TRX 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I directly dropped in a Micro 55 from Reefs that is a perfect stock replacement servo if you do no modifications on the truck. As soon as I started doing modifications and putting brass on it and stuff like that, I was able to drop a Micro 99 brass into it perfectly. No modifications to the steering platforms. Like the FCX 24, their servos are too long. You got to space it. You got to do some stuff. The TRX 4M, you have to change the brace that goes in that the servo fits into, that fits on top of the axle. Like you got to do a lot of modifications. The Ascent 18, direct bolt in with the aftermarket.
Sure. Wow.
Which is fantastic. And the electronics hold it. Like no brownouts, no nothing. It loves that Micro 99.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. A lot of the Furitech systems are rejecting the bigger servos. If you're at that 100-ounce inch and it likes voltage to get there, those speed controls aren't liking it. Those ESCs aren't liking it so much. And they killed it. Red Cat. They came out swinging.
Good for them.
They did nothing wrong with that one.
Well, you've got chatter coming in here, a lot of comments supporting the Cent 18. It sounds like it is the micro to purchase. If you're looking for your first micro, the downside is you're going to have nothing to compare it to. So it sounds like you're getting the best of everything right out of the gate, because we suffered. Not every micro was as good as you're talking about. We suffered through some BS in these micros.
Yeah. So if you rewind back to the first micros, you had a leaf sprung, Proline,
Ambush.
And boy, was that thing rude. I got one sitting over there, but they were rough. And you know,
Ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time. I mean, these things are what's that truck? 10 plus years old now.
Yep.
You know, it's we're not new to the mini crawler scene. Like, they've been around, but they've been getting better and better and better. And even Axial's starting to pick up on it. They're improving. They're V2ing, V3ing. They're doing a lot of refinements to their products, and you know, the price points are. I like the
TRX4. Like, I was a huge fan of the TRX4M. I thought that micro came along, and I was very happy.
So, I mean, some of the M's, like creativity-wise, right? So it's a standard wheelbase with a standard body mounting position, and it works really well. So you can make crazy things like that. Like, you can make that, and it's on the stock wheelbase, on a stock chassis, and the body just pops off, and you have I can just put a regular Defender body on it and run it around, right? So it's, you know, that cleverness is awesome on that. If you want a licensed body, the TRX4M is kind of where you're going to go, right? Because they're the only ones really doing them. So they have their little market, right? The Ascent 18, if you're going to print a body in 18th scale, if you have a 10th scale body, normal 10th scale size body, 10th scale size body, if I cut this body in its print form to 50%, exactly 50%, it fits on the 18. So their 18th scale is a little different than the TRX4M's 18th scale, where you can't do that. It's a different measurement system. So yeah,
you gotta do math in public.
Yeah, don't do math in public.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, I can't thank you enough, sir, for the show and tell and your wisdom. Dino RC fans that have tuned in tonight, get over to Addy's RC during the week and check out what he's doing during the week. Tutorial, in-depth, a lot more DIY. Obviously, if you have questions, this is the place to throw us a question, and you can do a deeper dive and answer some more technical questions. Then we try to give you the lighter side on a Saturday night, not be so stressful here. But even about where you were talking about with that body, we had an earlier RAD show. If you go back to the earlier RAD shows, there's an interview with James Knight. There is the interview with the guy that's doing the bodies for those D110s. He hooked up with Scale Rat. The guy's slipping my name right now. I think you actually partnered with him for a little bit, and we're doing some TRX4M body work for a little bit.
Defender Customs. Yeah.
Defender Customs.
And he's doing some flatbed work that is amazing on these small trucks. He's doing Ford F450s and Silverado 3500s, like with flatbeds and fifth wheels, and like he's off the charts. Like, go check that stuff out.
Defender Customs.
Yep.
Defender Customs. And Bobby, thank you for tuning in here. So guys, if you have a micro and you want to show it off inside of a scale garage, we know Bobby has been doing his 10 scale and his now micro scale garages. So yeah, you get the best of both worlds. We Bobby is supporting the micro scene with the scale garage also. His scale
I need to get
garages
like a
have
full
come a
parking
long
lot.
way.
I need like a 4 foot
Oh.
long parking lot.
With a simple backdrop with a bunch of
Simple backdrop.
bays that you can sit in front of.
Yeah. Yep.
I love it. It can be done. I've seen him do plenty of custom work and lay out some really cool mods, some cool banner backdrops. That's basically all you need is almost a banner wall,
Yeah,
just a simple
across
banner.
the top.
Make it look like they're all sitting in a parking bay.
Yeah, like an army motor pool type thing with some bays. Yeah.
Rick Perry's chiming in. We know Rick Perry has been busy with Bobby. If you haven't seen what Rick Perry's been up to, they're like stacking bays and expanding onto what, like outside and paint booths and oh my goodness, listen, I love what you do, Jeremy. I love what Dino's doing and Rick Perry and all these people are truly being inspired by what is inside of them and what they want to do. Right now, I'm creating a second floor loft in my scale garage. I've done a second floor loft once before. Yeah, you saw what? Yeah. A good way to burn through 3 rolls of filament quickly. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But
that's what you want to do. That's cool.
It's making me happy, so I could, we bust balls because we can, but listen, you do it because you want to. Don't chase, don't keep up with the Joneses. It's what's inspiring you, and Dino is clearly leading from the front there, guys. You have a good leader. All you Dino family people, you guys are in good hands. No doubt, Dino knows what he's doing.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
I like it.
And he's got great taste in toolboxes. I saw the blue toolbox that he had behind him. Like I'm telling you, it's,
You too. Hey, bunk beds.
Yeah, bunk beds. We're going to make bunk beds. Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy, I love it. Well, Jeremy, this is a memorial service kind of weekend. Much respect to our fallen that have given their sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, as an Operation 11 Charlie family member, and you as a recently retired Sergeant Major. Again, if you're not familiar with what a Sergeant Major is, people, go do a Google search and see what an achievement that is. It's like a doctorate. Like, you've got to show this man some respect. Not everybody gets that level.
It's 0.1% of 3% of the entire population. So it's a small number that make it
right.
That make it all the way up there, and it's a privilege and an honor to do it. And
there's a little bit of luck being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. This weekend we're here local. We're doing the 50. Doing the steps for the count on the Vietnam Memorial Wall once again. So it's like almost 20 miles, of steps that we're going to do in Susquehanna State Park. I believe right now there's about 5 of us that are going to do it. So
wow.
It's just a good trail run on Memorial Day morning. We do it every year, and we just get out there and just run RCs and talk about stuff. And every year I have fewer and fewer friends that made it through the years, and it gives me some time to reflect on time that I spent with them, and makes me think about the things that my father went through in Vietnam, and some of the friends that he doesn't have anymore. So that's what the holiday is about, is to remember those that you can't say thanks to directly again, and you can say thanks to them in your own way, whether it's personal or public, however you want to do it. Just make sure you say thank you for all those ultimate sacrifices made.
Cool. Love it. All right, sir.
Not being depressing. Not being depressing.
No. Find your way to show your respect and your gratitude for our soldiers in all branches. It is a Memorial Weekend for them. So, Jeremy, I can't thank you on your weekend. I can't thank everybody enough for hanging around here long enough and suffering through till the end. We're going to bring this in for a descent and thank all of the people that made the show possible. Dino, again, thank you, sir. You helped bring a little bit of humor tonight and made a couple of old guys laugh for a little bit. So thank you.
And thanks to all the people in here supporting Dino RC. You're fantastic people. Thank you for your support to them and the RC community as a whole. We appreciate it.
All right, Jeremy, I'll take us out of here. I'm going to close us out with I'll remove us both, and everybody have a nice remainder of your Memorial Day weekend, people. Go eat some burgers, go get some hot dogs, go enjoy the time with the family. And we thank you. We'll see you all hopefully next weekend. That is the goal. Banners, brand. Let's find our outro video. Here we go. Closing video.